Everyone, so my question is number two. Explain how uh, John Jacques Rousseau's notion of the social contract relates to educational practice. So first of all, it's important to know that a little bit about Rousseau's life, and he was born free, okay, and because he was born free, all right, this notion of freedom became heavily ingrained in his works throughout his life, okay. So relating his old notion of the social contract and the educational process, first of all, it's important to note that um, his first point was the learning process for children should be based on the natural creativity of children. So pretty much what he's saying here is that children, they should be engaged in active learning experiences. And we see this a lot. I'm in the K to 12 setting. So for example, in the K to 12 setting at the Paso Independent School District, we are shifting to from a more traditional teaching process to the active learning framework. So this provides kids hands-on experiences to learn. They participate in activities. They go on different trips. They're able to use their whole inquisitive nature in order to learn as opposed to verbal instruction. So that was Cousseau's first point. Let kids be kids. Let them use their curiosity in order to gain a better understanding of their world. He was saying that children should be jumping, children should be running, children should be playing, um, using all their kinetic kinetic capabilities in order to learn. All right, so that's his first point. So Rousseau's second point that he made of his social contract in relation to the educational practice was that children, they need to they learn they learn with other people and in a variety of situations. In other words, he was saying that kids, they need social interactions to learn. Kids don't learn isolated, and this goes back to nature of children. By nature, children and people in general, children love to talk, children love to play. So he's saying we should use those opportunities for children to play with each other and to learn from each other in order for them to learn. So this goes back to, once again, what we're doing in the classroom and what I try to do in my classroom group work, okay? I noticed that my students learn a lot better, and I work with freshmen, all right? Freshmen in the English class. They learn a lot better when they're in groups as opposed to completing isolated work on their own. So we need to provide those opportunities with our children. Also, he was saying that kids need social interactions to learn, and that's very important as well. Once again, kids love to talk. So as educators, especially in the K-12 setting, I believe that we need to take advantage of that and give kids a chance to talk about the material they're learning. And that way, not only can they be kids, but also they'll reach the goal of educators, which is, to learn that new material. So that's his second point. And also, he's talking about a variety, letting children learn a variety of settings. So that goes back to field trips. Kids learn best when they have those hands-on experiences. So by taking them to different places, museums, it could be different, I don't know, archaeological sites, whatever it may be. That's how they'll learn that material a lot better than as opposed to reading it in some boring old textbook that's been around for, I don't know, since we were in high school. Okay, so his third point was he de-emphasized verbal instruction. So this is something that I truly believe that educators really need to understand, and it's something that I see myself as kids, especially my freshmen in this classroom. I'll use myself for example. They could care less about Shakespeare, but it's in my core curriculum, so I have to teach it. So that's when it goes to bringing relevance into education. How can we as educators make learning fun for students? And that's my job. I have to teach Shakespeare. So how do I do it? I use different fun activities such as Kahoot. I make it relevant. I relate Shakespeare, the context from back then, to the lifetime now with the themes of love, the themes of especially teenage love. That's something that these freshmen, high schoolers experience for the first time, these strong relationships. So it's about making the learning relevant into what they need to learn right now. Okay? And then finally, that fourth and final point, and this is the one I believe to be the most important. Rousseau stated that parents are the natural teachers of their children. So as a parent myself, I believe that it's my duty, and my wife agrees with me also, that we lay the foundation for our child's education. Now, is it important for the school to help with that? Yes, but what a kid gets at the school as far as the fundamental reading skills, as far as the fundamental math skills, the numbers, the counting, whatever it may be. It starts at home, and the classroom is pretty much an extension of that. And another key point he made relating to this was he saying that children, they learn best through love, that love and affection, as opposed to, um, I guess you could say, a more stern hand. I agree with that partially, but I do believe there needs to be a balance. Children should be children should be pushed, pushed and taught empathy. They should be taught to love. They should be approaching that nature, but also they need to learn that consequences.